As excruciatingly difficult as the last 2 weeks have been, I welcome the opportunity to clear my name today. Let me describe my relationship with Anita Hill. In 1981, after I went to the Department of Education
in 1981, I was introduced to now Judge Thomas by a mutual friend.
In October 1991, the confirmation hearings for Supreme Court nominee Clarence Thomas became a focal point of national controversy when Anita Hill, a law professor from the University of Oklahoma, accused Thomas of sexual harassment. Hill, who had worked under Thomas at the Department of Education and the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC, provided detailed testimony describing Thomas's inappropriate behavior. This included allegations that Thomas made unwelcome sexual advances, talked graphically about pornography, and made lewd comments, including a reference to a pubic hair on a Coke can and measuring his private parts. Hill's testimony before the Senate Judiciary Committee was compelling and forthright, shedding light on a hostile work environment created by Thomas. Despite her composed and credible delivery, Hill faced intense scrutiny and skepticism from the predominantly male committee. Senators questioned her motives and credibility, with some implying she had ulterior motives or was seeking revenge. Clarence Thomas vehemently denied all allegations, characterizing the hearings as a high-tech lynching for uppity blacks who in any way deigned to think for themselves. This defense introduced a racial element to the proceedings, further complicating public perception and the already polarized atmosphere. Ultimately, despite the controversy and a narrow Senate vote of 52-48, Thomas was confirmed to the Supreme Court. However, Hill's testimony had a profound and lasting impact on American society. It significantly raised awareness about workplace sexual harassment, leading to a surge in the number of sexual harassment complaints filed with the EEOC. Her courage in speaking out also galvanized many women to run for public office, contributing to the Year of the Woman in 1992, which saw a record number of women elected to Congress. The Anita Hill-Clarence Thomas hearings marked a pivotal moment in the national conversation about sexual harassment, demonstrating the power of personal testimony to drive social and legal change. Hill's experience highlighted the challenges faced by victims of harassment and underscored the importance of creating safer and more respectful work environments.
News that I read where he talks about being teased as a child because of his dark skin, kinky hair, big lips, pure African features, because basically he was black, a dark-skinned black person. That kind of teasing that we impose on each other hurts. I sometimes wonder whether, because he has mentioned it in several interviews, whether it had an impact and helped shape his political views. And whether basically he has a tug-of-war, an internal tug-of-war going on about how he feels about us, about his own people.
The people of Pinpoint, the real people.
Valerie Williams is a stockbroker in New York.
Clarence Thomas was not a middle-class black person. So not only was there this larger oppression of the white community, there was a scorn from the more well-off and well-educated portions of the black community. And I don't think people understand that about him.
So he suffered.
I think he suffered a lot. He suffered a lot. And I always tell everybody, the take on Clarence Thomas is not that he came from the wrong side of the tracks. All black people, in terms of white Americans, come from the wrong side of the tracks. Clarence Thomas came from the wrong side of the black tracks. And people don't understand the anger that entails. When you're at the tail end of the tail end, there's a different kind of resonance there.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very, very much. Hearing's adjourned.
To bring out, why couldn't they bring out something that he had done wrong with? Maybe his credentials were something not in order. Why did it have to be sex?
Did he just say, I have great physical capability and attributes, or was he more graphic?
He was much more graphic.
Can you tell us what he said?
Well, I can tell you that he compared his penis size. He measured his penis in terms of length.
Ella McDonald.
I said, oh my God, here we go again. Here they're going to put his penis all over the TV. You know? I said, here we go again. Here we go again.
On several occasions, Thomas told me graphically of his own sexual prowess.
Pauline Goodrich is a transit police official in Brooklyn, New York.
Pick some nice issue. Pick some nice issue to deal with, you know. Pick some issue about college or kids or motherhood or family. The black family is falling apart. That we've had a lot of conferences on that. We can handle that. We even have a lot of issues around black men and young men in jails and black against black and violent crimes. I mean, you know, we're not proud of those issues, but you know. Teenage pregnancy, we can handle them because it's kind of going on and being exposed in the rest of the cultures. But black female and black male sexual issues, I mean.
What Anita Hill did, of course,
Paula Giddings is an author and feminist.
A gender issue, and more than a gender issue, she also brought up an issue of sexuality, which is really a taboo in the black community in terms of public revelation. And they're for reasons that are very obvious if you know anything about black history. Racism really has been based very much in our community. Racism has been based on sexual difference in many ways and in many cases. I mean, it's not just race difference, not just color difference, but black people were defined by their being sexually different from whites in the society. And so anything that smacks, that seems to confirm that view, especially when it's revealed in public, gives us a lot of ambivalence. It makes us very, very nervous. Historically, in the late 19th century, for example, that kind of difference got people lynched. That kind of difference got women raped, that perception. And so it's very, very difficult for us to disclose certain kinds of things. We're always sort of worried for the consequences of it.
Can you tell the committee what was the most embarrassing of all the incidents?
Pornography involving these women with large breasts and engaged in variety of sex.
As a black person, you couldn't help but sit there and watch that and feel. You couldn't help but be moved emotionally at the sight of two black people talking about sex and private relations and the whole bit of it before a panel of all white men.
And I hate to go into this, but I want to go into it because I have to. And I know it's something that you wish you'd never heard at any time or place. But I think it's important that we go into it, and let me just do it this way. She said to the FBI that you told her about your sexual experiences and preferences, that you asked her what she liked,